Learn English Podcast.
Today we're tackling gerunds. Now, these are those familiar ding words, right? But they sort of have this double life.
Exactly. They look like verbs, but they act like nouns. That's the core idea.
So, like in cooking is my favorite hobby.
Cooking, there isn't, something you're doing right now. It's the name of the activity. It's the subject.
It's the thing, the activity as a concept.
Precisely. It lets us talk about actions as if they were objects or ideas. It's quite a neat linguistic trick, actually.
Okay, so how do we make sure we've actually got a gerund and not something else? Is there a quick check?
There is, yeah. A pretty useful one I call the noun replacement test. Basically, try swapping the ing word with a simple noun, something like chess or music or dogs. If the sentence still works, grammatically speaking, you've probably got a gerund.
Ah, okay, so walking is my hobby could become chess is my hobby. Makes sense.
Right. But if you take a sentence like, I am swimming in the lake, and you try to swap in sports, I am sports in the lake. That just sounds wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah, completely wrong.
So that tells you swimming in that sentence isn't a gerund. It's doing something else.
That test is really practical, clears things up. But you mentioned something else. That immediately makes me think of, well, present participles. They also end in ing.
Ah, yes, the classic point of confusion, and it's a really important one.
So how do we tell them apart?
Yeah.
Because they look identical.
It all comes down to the job they're doing in the sentence. Function over form. Remember, the gerund always acts like a noun. Always. A present participle, though. It usually acts like an adjective describing something.
Okay, like describing a noun.
Exactly. Or it's part of a continuous verb tense, like is swimming or was running.
Right. Can you give an example with the same word?
Sure, let's take crying as a gerund. Crying is cathartic. Here, crying is the subject, the noun, the act itself.
Okay, the act of crying. Got it.
As a participle acting as an adjective, I saw a crying child. Here, crying describes the child.
Modifying child.
Yep, and then as part of a continuous verb, she was crying. Here, crying is part of that verb phrase, was crying, showing an ongoing action.
Okay, that breakdown is super helpful. Gerund, noun, participle, adjective, or part of verb.
That's the core distinction.
So we know what they are, how to spot them. Hopefully.
Where do people usually run into trouble? Is there like a golden rule we should know?
There absolutely is a kind of golden rule, especially involving prepositions. Prepositions, words like of, in, on, at, for, about, after, before, without, by, those little connecting words. Well, if you need to use a verb form immediately after one of those prepositions, it has to be the gerund, the ing form.
Always. Like, no exceptions.
Pretty much always in standard English. It's a very reliable rule. Think about it. She's good at painting, not good at paint.
Or I'm tired of waiting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or, thanks for helping. The preposition forces the gerund. It's fundamental. That's a really solid rule to hang on to. But okay, what about phrases ending in to, like look forward to? Because to often signals an infinitive, right? Like to go, to see.
Ah, you've hit on a classic trap. That's probably one of the most common errors I see. In certain fixed expressions like look forward to or be used to or object to, get around to, that to is actually behaving as a preposition, not as part of an infinitive.
Oh, right. So it still follows the preposition rule.
It does. So it must be followed by the gerund. You have to say, I look forward to hearing from you.
I look forward to hear.
Correct. Or I'm used to getting up early, not used to get up. It feels counterintuitive sometimes, but that to is a preposition there.
That's a really crucial detail. Okay, so I've got identification, the preposition rule, the to trap. What about more advanced stuff where it gets subtle?
Well, this leads us to what I sometimes call the chameleon verbs.
Chameleon verbs. Okay, intriguing.
These are verbs where the choice of putting a gerund or an infinitive after them completely changes the meaning of the sentence.
So it's not just about grammar rules anymore. It's about conveying the right message.
Precisely. This is where mastering gerunds versus infinitives really impacts clarity. Generally speaking, and this isn't a hard rule but a common pattern, the gerund often looks back to a past action, a habit, an experience,
Okay, looking back.
while the infinitive often looks forward to a future action, a purpose, an intention.
Right. Can you give us an example?
Sure, take the verb stop. He stopped drinking coffee. The gerund drinking refers to the habit. He quit drinking coffee.
Okay, quit the habit.
But he stopped to drink coffee. The infinitive to drink shows the purpose. He paused what he was doing, maybe driving, walking, in order to drink coffee.
Wow, okay, totally different meanings. One quit, one took a break for coffee.
Exactly. Or think about remember. She remembered visiting her grandmother. The gerund visiting refers to a past memory she has. She recalls the event.
She has the memory of doing it.
Yes, but she remembered to visit her grandmother. The infinitive to visit means she didn't forget her plan or obligation. She remembered the task she needed to do.
Again, a huge difference. One is recalling a past event. The other is remembering a future task.
These distinctions are subtle but powerful. Get them wrong, and you could really confuse someone. I actually had a student once whose personal statement sounded quite alarming because they mixed these up.
I can imagine. It really shows these aren't just dry grammar points.
Not at all. They're tools for precise communication.
So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway for everyone listening? Why focus on mastering gerunds?
Well, it's not just about, passing a test or sounding correct.
Right.
It's about adding a layer of sophistication and, more importantly, precision to your English. It lets you talk about actions and experiences with real nuance.
Being able to clearly say, if you stopped smoking or stopped to smoke, that changes everything.
Absolutely. It forces you, in a good way, to think more critically about the exact meaning you want to get across. Every word choice matters.
Exactly. Which kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? How many other small grammatical choices, maybe ones you don't even consciously think about, are shaping your message every single day? Something to think about until our next deep dive.